Hi, I'm Dennis Isbitzer of Wild Fish, Wild Places Television. If you want to learn how to fish spinners on a downward troll for king salmon, stay tuned. This is your Panther Martin how-to report. We're pulling these spinners down current. What we're doing is we're getting the boats positioned. There's a big deep run along here. We've got a 2-ounce weight dropper, like a bottom walker, a piece of fish, like a fish flash. So we're using an actual flasher blade, and then the Panther Martin spinner behind that. So we're actually turning the boat down current, and we're getting going, and we're just barely moving a little faster than the current, and that blade's spinning, hitting the bottom, making sure we're close to the bottom. It's spinning the whole time, and then all of a sudden it comes up, and then bam, they slam it and they're there. It's a really fun way of fishing. I've never done this before, a downhill drag with spinners, but it's working really well on an outgoing tide when the water's still pretty deep in here. It might be something you look into, try out yourself, but man, it is working really well. Getting right back to 60 feet on a line counter. I feel it. I make sure that blade's spinning, make sure it didn't get goofed up on the way down. You can feel it. You got braid line with a 20-pound fluorocarbon leader, and you can actually feel it back there spinning. You want to make sure it's working. And then go ahead and put it in the rod holder. You're ready to fish. Barely wiggling. Oh my God, dude, that thing's a freaking giant. Oh, man. Look at that. We're turning the boat, positioning downhill. Give it a nice toss over the edge. And I like, I've been using these line counter reels. I really like them. Helps you go right back to where you were catching fish. Just keep your thumb on the spool. You let it back real gentle, just nice and slow, under power. You feel that blade back there spinning. Get it back, and I'm gonna go back to 60 feet. I've hooked 2 at the 60-foot mark. Well, I think that's really important. Going right back to duplicate exactly what happened when you caught that fish. So we're wrapping up here at King Salmon Lodge up in Alaska, chasing big Chinook salmon. One of the key techniques here has been trolling downstream a spinner, which is different for me. I've never really done that before. So remember, when you're starting to fish downriver, down current, it's really important to get that blade spinning, the right spin for what they're looking for. You got to check your blades when you're running these spinners. The size of the blade matters, and the speed. So as you turn the boat and you head downriver, make sure that blade's pumping. Like I said, sometimes they want that thing spinning hard, and sometimes they just barely want that thing thumping the bottom. So depending on whatever size spinner is gonna work best for you, try to match up the conditions, and each run can be different. Don't be afraid to experiment with colors too. We had some varied colors options here. We had some of them were liking chartreuses, some of them were liking whites, so make sure you experiment with that too. So, I mean, as always, we know that there's a ton of different ways to do things. If you like what you see here, click the subscribe link for more how-to videos from Panther Martin.